Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. I'm your host, Andrea Eppy. So welcome to everyone in the chat. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful Thursday, despite everything that's going on right now in the world. I hope this can just be a little bit of an escape for you, and you can get away for about 30 minutes and just get your mind off things and just relax. So we're gonna have fun today. Welcome to everyone in the chat. We've got Rosie, Golden. As always, let me know if you guys have any questions about anything I'm doing, and I will reply to you. So welcome. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started and hop on over to Behance, and we can see what today's challenge is. So if you wanna follow along with me, I'm at behance.net/challenge/XD. And as always, if you're not already registered, go ahead and sign up by just pressing this big blue button right there. And that way, each day at 8 a.m., you'll get a notification in your Creative Cloud app that there is a new challenge. So every day, I'm live at 2 p.m. Pacific, so you can hop on back here and see what the unlocked challenge is for the day. So Monday, we worked on some very fun hairstyle generators. Yesterday, we did sort of a DIY, home improvement sort of thing, browsing experience for that. That was fun. And today, in the spirit, again, with everything New Year's resolution sort of related, we're going to be doing a hobby randomizer. So I want you guys to create an experience that helps users find new hobbies. Maybe, you're looking for a new hobby this year. Allow users to select some keywords and then generate a list of suggestions alongside the required materials. So whatever you need to do all of those hobbies. And we're going to focus on content-aware layout, which, if you haven't used it before, it's very helpful with resizing buttons. So I'll show you how to do that. And as always, if you want to, go ahead and grab that starter file, just hit Get Started. And it is a little bit of a bug we've been experiencing. For some reason, it doesn't download when you click it, but if you just right-click and then you copy the link address and you just paste it in a new URL tab up there, it'll start downloading. So just copy and paste the link and it'll work that way, I promise. Yeah. All right. So as always, you can always rewatch any of these videos. If you miss something or you want to go back and just rewatch how I did something, you can do that. And of course, you can share your work on Discord and Behance when you're done for feedback. So if you're not a member of Discord, you can sign up right here. And this is what it looks like. If you want to see what other people are creating too, you can check out this current challenge channel right here. Look through some of this awesome work. This one I was just looking at. This was the one for Monday. Choosing a hairstyle. I love this one so much. So fun. So sometimes it's just fun to get inspiration from everyone else and, chat with your other fellow designers. So check that out if you have not already. And we'll go ahead and jump into XD. Okay, so as always, I like to give you the end result of what we're going to be working on or what we're going to be designing. So this is the idea. Let's do a preview. Make sure it's not behind my head. So maybe you get to the welcome screen. We've got a bunch of keywords here that you can choose. Maybe some things that are calling your name are like outdoorsy, relaxing, traveling, whatever. You select those and then you select next. And then it generates a list of hobbies that you might like. So maybe knitting, cooking, whatever. And maybe, if you want to do this in a circle sort of form, or if it's more randomized, that would be cool too. And then if you want to go further, you can tap on one of those and you can see, how you do it, maybe some videos, or show some materials down there. And yeah, so really I want you to focus on these first two screens here though. So that's what we're going to be working on today. All right, so as always, this is what the starter file looks like. So this whole thing, and you won't have all of my components over here, just this resource booklet. So if you want to look through any of those tabs, you can look through them over here in the components panel. And the thing I mentioned, so for buttons, content aware layout. So that's going to be right here. And same thing as what we worked on yesterday with stacks. You have to have something grouped to select it. So like for instance, this text box is selected, but it's not a group. So I won't see that content aware layout under this layout panel right here, but this is a group, so we can see it. You know, this is a group also, we can see it. And then you would just press that checkbox and you can make some adjustments there. So that's where you're gonna find it. Some inspiration, of course, we've got down here. Just love all these different icons for hobbies. I'm excited to hear what you guys' maybe favorite hobbies are. So give me some good ideas if you have them. Check in the chat. Richard, hey everyone, Happy New Year. It's been a long time. I know I haven't seen you in the chat in a while, Richard. I was like, where's Richard? So welcome, Laura, everyone. And the tips of today. So when we're making buttons, we want to just make sure we have the right size, since that's a big part of usability, especially when we're thinking about accessibility. That's like one of the main things I see is these button sizes are all wrong. So things to consider. Are the fonts large enough? Do the colors have enough contrast? Are the buttons large enough? And are you using a combination of both color and size to convey meaning? Because sometimes you can't just rely on one of those. You know, if you're colorblind or something, give users more than one way to figure out what's going on your screen. So just some things to think about while we're designing today. And I'm gonna start on the home page right here. Welcome everyone, just joining in. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so on that tone, I'm gonna add a welcome message up here. Let's see, oh. There we go. So we need to just tell the users what this page is actually for. So since this might be like right after onboarding or something like that, or just a splash screen, give them an actual description of what they're actually supposed to be doing with this app. So, you know, this is an important page because it might be the second or third screen that the user's actually seen. So you want to be very explicit on those sort of pages. And then down here, I'm just gonna spell it out, tell them what they need to do. So we'll say like, choose a few keywords that fit the type of hobby that you want. So it's good to just spell it out sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. Okay, and then down here, I really just want to list a bunch of different keywords. So just some sort of descriptors for different hobbies. So I will just draw some rectangles. And I've got some colors already selected over here. Kind of want this to be super light. And we're going to use content aware layout for this. So maybe this one will be like outdoorsy. You want some kind of outdoorsy hobbies. And we'll put this right here. And since I want to do a lot of keywords here. So instead of whenever I type something out for a new keyword and adjusting the spacing and like making sure it's the same for each one, that's where content aware layout comes in. So what you want to do is group both of these together. So Command G is that shortcut. And then now you'll see in our layouts panel, this appeared right here. So right under stacks that we worked on yesterday. So padding is what we're looking for. So we just check that little checkbox, and now you'll see it gives us two options, and it will auto select to what it thinks we want. Usually it's pretty good about that. So we can either choose even padding around all of the sides, and that just means that all of these sides on every single side of the text will be exactly the same, no matter what. But this one I think makes a little bit more sense. Different sizes on each side, a lot of S's. And I usually like to come in here and just manually adjust. You can do it just visually, so same thing as yesterday with the stacks. If you hold down S, you can adjust it, or if you hold down Shift S, you can do all of them at one time. But I like to come over here, so I'll do usually like 30. Maybe that's a little bit big. 15, let's try 20. Okay, 20 seems to be the sweet spot. So I'll keep 20 on each side. And now if I just copy and paste and I start typing another keyword here, maybe like a group activity, you'll see it just adjusts that spacing on the side. So I don't have to keep repeating and like adjusting and doing that for every single one. So very helpful there. So let's just go ahead and make some more. And I'll use repeat grid a few lines down, so we're not like spending a ton of time on this, but just want you guys to see how you do this. So let's say like traveling, that would be a good one. I wish, maybe later in the year, hopefully. Let's say a group activity or solo activity. We can move this over just a tad. And what else? Eating. I love hobbies that require eating. That is something that I like. What else? Relaxing. And I'll just do one more row here, and then I'll use a repeat grid for the rest. Relaxing. What else? Artistic. Okay, I spelled that wrong. Artistic. No, that's right. I was thinking there was another IS in there. Active and maybe performing. Okay. So now what we can do is come up here to our repeat grid and just copy everything else down here. Obviously, if this was like in real life, you wouldn't want to do that because you would want different keywords, but just for the sake of time, that's what we're going to do. And I'm actually just going to ungroup these because I want to, in the next screen, I want to be able to select a few of them. So let's actually delete maybe 2 rows, because down here I want to add a menu and a next button. So Richard said outdoorsy or outdoorsy. Did I spell it wrong? I think that's right. Okay, so let's add a next button down here. Next. I'll make this a little bit smaller because I don't want to compete with the welcome message up there. So I'll bring it down to like 15, and I will add just an arrow right there. Group those two together. Command G. And then just below that, we'll add our menu, our row of menu icons. So maybe a home icon, and I just already had these, so that's what we're gonna use. Notifications, star, and actually I'll show you a trick with this too. So you can just kind of willy-nilly like throw this on. Willy-nilly? I don't know if anyone actually uses that term anymore. Okay, so you can just like throw them on randomly, and what you do is come up here to your line little tab or panel, and you can adjust them. So let's say we want to horizontally align them, and maybe this one I want to be there on the end, and you can distribute them evenly as well. So that saves me a ton of time. Let's move those up just a little bit. Okay, that looks good. Okay. Just checking the chat, seeing if you guys have any questions. Good. All right, so next page. Now we're just gonna select a few of these. So let's change like this one to look like it's selected. So maybe a blue. And I need to double click in, that's why. Blue, and maybe the text changes to a black. And then I've got a little checkbox right here, just for another way, little extra, so they can make sure that that's the one they selected. And let's just do a few more of these, just to kind of show what 4 or so would look like selected. So we'll change the text. We'll do this one, relaxing. That text will change to black. I don't know if we're gonna be able to see that. Yes. And artistic or artsy. And we'll change the text to black as well. Okay, so there we go. And you see, we did that pretty quick because of that content aware layout. So try that. All right, so if we hop into the prototype tab and we just select one of these, drag our trigger over to the next screen, and then for the interaction up here, we would have just a tap trigger I don't want any fancy animation. You could do dissolve if you want, but usually for going from screen to screen, I keep it on no animation. And obviously this, like each of these, clicking each of these would be a new interaction, but just kind of to show you, I'm just going to leave it at 1. So let's go ahead and preview this. So far what we have. So we select group activity, we select outdoors, all of these, they're selected. Perfect. And then once we hit next, we want to get to our actual list of the hobbies that have been generated for us. So, oh, I'm just checking the chat. Henry said I do use that term. Okay, I'm not the only one. Golden says I totally say willy-nilly. Okay, good. I'm not like that nerdy. Okay. And then let's say our list of hobbies. So, your hobbies. I do feel like words that I like don't say that much for some reason come out on the stream. Like fam. I never say fam. You know, like hey fam, but sometimes I don't know. All right, so let's give them the description. So, you know, based on the keywords that you selected, these are some recommendations. These are your recommendations. Okay. Just spelling it out. And then maybe they'd want to go back and, you know, edit some of those. So let's just give them a back arrow just in case. And I'll just put that right in line with this, with our, maybe a little bit higher. Right there. Okay. And then below this, we can just list out all of the hobbies. So let's, I've already got some of these already selected, these icons. And I'll just drag these out. And cooking, piano. Wait, where was my other one? I thought I had another one. Oh, painting. I missed that one. Okay. So behind each of these, just to kind of keep with the gray sort of, you know, muted tones, I'm just gonna add some circles. So let's do this. And I'll just copy that color, send it behind. And that shortcut for send to back is Command and then the left bracket. Just a little shortcut there. And let's add the text. So what is this hobby? It's knitting. I'll add that right there. And just so that stands out a little bit more, like a little bit more than this descriptive text up here, I'm gonna make it black. And same with, you know, like this selected text. Generally, that's how I kind of make my hierarchy as far as like what the user should look at first. It's how opaque, like how much black is added to whatever that element is. And that draws your attention more. So let's do the same for each of these. So I'll send this backwards using that shortcut. And this can be cooking. Oh man, Henry said it's 10 p.m. in the UK. Gonna leave soon. I do not blame you. Have a very good night, Henry. And I hope I'll see you tomorrow. And let's do the same for these. So we've got painting. And let's copy and paste this. This can be hiking. Man, I would love to go hiking right now, but it's just in that time of year where it's like a little too cold. I'm like, gotta wait a few months. Hopefully not that much longer, but we'll see. And this one can be gardening, maybe. I got into gardening this year on my tiny little apartment balcony. I made watermelon and tomatoes and a bunch of flowers and stuff. So you don't need a huge space. Okay, and this one can be piano. So let's just kind of straighten these out a bit. I think they're a little off center. Perfect. So there's our list of hobbies. Like I mentioned, I think it'd be kind of cool if you did a like arrange these in a circle and maybe kind of swipe through them that way, circular wise. But yeah, I just decided to go for more of a grid view this time. And here, I'll just copy and paste that menu bar. And that looks pretty good. So let's hop into the prototype tab. And then, oops, This is linked to a previous artboard. So then from our keywords and then selecting the keywords and then to the hobbies page, we just need to select next. So this one we really don't have any fancy prototyping. We're really just using the tap trigger for these. Normal transition and then no animation, so that's fine. Yes, yes. Gus said, me too. It's too bad it's freezing, maybe in March. Oh yeah, about the hiking. Oh, so ready to get out. Oh well. I should like buy some stock in like hiking gear and stuff because I feel like everyone's gonna want to get out as soon as all of this is over. Okay, so then if you want to go a step further, I don't have a ton of time for this, but you could add a little drop down once you click on each of these. So like a little menu and then showing all of the ingredients or like materials that you need for each of these. So this is what I would do for that. I would make a little intermediate overlay layer right there. And usually with this, I come down to background blur and I just adjust this, like, just kind of have to mess with it, mess with all of these and just kind of get it exactly where you want, adjust that background blur there. And then I'm just gonna copy all three of, maybe knitting, that one is fine, and paste it here. And then you can move this down a bit. And I already have this component saved from before, so these are some examples. I couldn't find some knitting emojis, but this is fine. So maybe the materials you need are like yarn, a basket, more yarn. So that's something that you would add. And let's say these are the materials. Materials needed. There we go. Let's place that like right there. Okay. And maybe if you wanted to, you could star it as well. I think I had a star icon here. There we go. Okay. So let's go ahead and preview this whole thing that we've got going on here. Didn't get to my last screen, but that's okay. Just focus on these first two screens. That's what I really want you to focus on. Don't feel like you have to do all of these screens for sure. So we've got our welcome screen, choose a few keywords, very nice. We tap next, and then we've got our list of our hobbies. So knitting, cooking, painting, maybe we choose knitting, and then we've got our little overlay. Very nice. You could add a nice animation there if you want some kind of auto animate popping up. That'd be cool. And there we go. Oh, the other thing I just forgot that I would probably need is a way to get out of that. So let's just add a close icon right down there. There we go. All right, so that is our design. Let's go ahead and Command S to save. I always forget to save till the very end. And as always, if you want to export your work, you can come up here to File, Export, Batch, or if you want to export as your prototype, your little movie file, come up here to play and just hit record, and it will record you tapping around. And then it will save it. Ask where you want to save. I'm not going to. There we go. But now this is one of my favorite parts of the stream. I want to look at some of you guys' work that you have been doing for the last few days. So I either search on Behance or Discord. So I'll do Behance for today. And I'm searching the keyword XD Daily Challenge. So if you are uploading to Behance, just make sure you add that and I'll show you how to get there. So you go to Edit on your project and then go over to Settings, and under Project Tags, you'd add that keyword XD Daily Challenge. So that's how you would find it. All right, so let's look at some of you guys' work. Okay, let's take a look at this one. All right, so this is by Orly Ooh, and this was the hairstyles app from Monday. Awesome, 7 different hair colors. We don't have a prototype, but that's okay. I still like seeing just the design. Short styles, that's awesome. Long styles, this is so cute. I would love to know if you like made these illustrations by hand, because if so, that's amazing. Or even if you just got them somewhere. I love the color palette. Very like 90s-esque or maybe 80s-esque. Very cool. All right, so we've got another one by Noyanika. Thanks for sharing. And this was the browsing experience. So let's take a look at this one. Crafty. Very cute. I love your mock-up here also, by the way. Build a bookshelf. We've got that little pop-up there. The clothes. Awesome. This looks so good. Thank you so much for sharing that. And maybe one more, Annie. Okay. Annie Yang. Andy. Anna. What was it? Annie. I cannot talk today. She's been doing so many of these. Props to you. Got our... Oh, wow. This is so in-depth. Materials, tools needed, description. Awesome. You really got it all in there. I think I missed the beginning. This looks so good. Thanks guys so much for sharing. So I will be still checking your work in Discord. So don't forget to post it there on the Current Challenge channel if you want feedback on your work. And unfortunately, that's all the time that I have left for today. But I'll be back here again tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific. So don't go anywhere. Right after this, we've got our draw along with Kyle Webster. So hope you guys have a great day. Bye everyone.